a.k.a. Best Bail Bonds. Big game coverage live from Las Vegas. Powered by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, Synergenics, and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hey, everybody, huddle up on us. This is the Morning Huddle. We promised him to you. Here he is. He is the head coach, former head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, Super Bowl champion. Mike Smith is sitting with us. When we get to see coaches come and sit down, I love the way that people treat you. When you walk and you sit and former players and coaches see you, there's this brotherhood amongst guys that have been in the battles that you just, I wouldn't even know if you were a head coach before, but if I saw you standing in the way that people walk up and treat former head coaches, there's something to that. You enjoy it?
Well, football has been something that I've done forever, and there's a kinship, there's a fraternity, and it's not just at the national football level in the NFL. It's at all levels. I mean, guys that I've played high school ball, right? When we get together, it's, hey, you remember against Crescent City? It's third down. We have those conversations. I mean, and then you sit. That's at the bar. Then you go home, and you haven't seen the parent and. Do you remember I used to drive you to?
Right.
Yeah, it's just a wonderful.
We get lost in the professionalism of the job of football and forget this is a game played by guys that enjoy each other's company to go out and do something special.
Absolutely, and come together as a unit and go out and perform and do the best that they possibly can. And we're getting to see it at the highest level here in Las Vegas here at the end of the week.
I find this to be true in my life. It's just somebody who covers football, so I can only imagine it's true tenfold for you. My wife knows we can't travel certain months. We can't do this. My son, I cover the Dallas Cowboys. He was born the night before Thanksgiving. Super inconvenient. You know what I mean?
But you were there, right?
Of course I was there, but covered the game in the hospital. But that being said, I mean, is that your life? I mean, you're coming to Radio Row every year. I mean, you kind of structure your life around football season.
Still do.
So you're about to start the off season then.
Yes, the off season is upon us. Now, I don't work as hard as I used to work, but I still enjoy the season, and it has to do not only with the X's and O's, but it's the kinship. I mean, the conversations that take place all across the world now, not just in our country, all across the world on Friday morning after a Thursday night game, Monday morning. And you get Monday is my favorite because you talk about what happened on Sunday, but then you still got
one more.
You got one more, and it's usually a pretty good one.
You're describing our lives as talk radio hosts. That is our calendar for sure.
Absolutely. And when you've been in it for as long as we have, it doesn't change. There's certain things that my wife knows on a Monday or a Saturday I'm going to do.
As we all do.
Coach, so I was thinking about something. We're scheduled to talk to Matt Ryan later in the day. In a little bit, I'd like to know something you think we should ask him. But correct me if I'm wrong, because I was thinking about this. Matt's first career pass, Michael Turner, I'm going to say like 76-yard touchdown, that had to just be the coolest thing ever, like for you all to experience.
Well, it was. But it was to Michael Jenkins.
I was very close.
Yeah, you had the Michael.
15 years ago.
It was a long time ago. Yeah, it was his first
career pass.
Career pass. And it's funny, Mike Mularkey was our offensive coordinator, and we kind of had a pretty good idea. And, Matt executed. we got the coverage that we thought we were going to get, and Matt executed it. And, I mean, what a way to start your career. And I'll never forget the excitement on that sideline, not only from Matt Ryan, but from everybody, from the people that taped the ankles to the people that put on the chin straps and got the helmets all lined up. We're so excited about Matt Ryan's first professional throw. And Matt is a wonderful, wonderful person, and he's a hell of a football player. Hell of a football player. And anything that he does after football won't surprise me because he's very, very talented.
Mike Smith, a former head coach in the NFL with the Falcons, AP Coach of the Year back in 2008. The witchcraft of coaching always intrigues me as we head into the Super Bowl because it's a game, just another game. You had 2 weeks to get ready for it, but all that goes into it. When you see how other coaches handle it, do you get a feel for your team? Do you have a plan ahead of time, or do you go day by day? My team's a little hyped up. I got to bring them back. A little under. I got to bring them up. How do you handle your teams as you go through the playoffs and the prep during this run?
Well, I think different coaches have different philosophies. My philosophy was always been it doesn't matter if it's a preseason game, a regular season game, or the postseason. You're going to go through the same routine because we all feel much more comfortable when we know what to expect and that we stay on a routine. And this is just, it's not just another game, but you've got to try to make it that when we get out on that practice field, it's just like if it's a Tuesday practice, it's just like a Tuesday practice in the preseason. It's just like a Tuesday practice in the regular season. We've got to go out and prepare and do our job, and that's the way I believe you have to prepare for it. Give them a day. The first day they get in, give them a day, and then try to get back in on that routine. Now, the great thing about there's 2 weeks to prepare. Most of the preparation gets done in that week.
So now it's just install. We're just getting everything in.
We're just making sure that we all understand the game plan, and we may tweak one or two things, but the hay's in the barn when you get to the site. And the guys that are here in Las Vegas, they know it's just a little tune-up every day.
The old adage is you build your team, you construct your team to win your division. The NFC South was incredible during your time there. It featured obviously Drew Brees at his peak and the arrival of Cam Newton. Josh Freeman's Bucs kind of slept on. I mean, you guys at one point in time felt like had the best four quarterbacks in the NFL, certainly. Is that true, that you build it to win your – I mean, because the goal is to be here. But the quickest path, easiest path to the playoffs is get that first home playoff game.
Well, the thing you have to do is there's one way to guarantee to get you in the playoffs, and that's win your division.
Right.
You don't have to rely on
so-and-so being
exactly. This and being a wild card. So, yes, you want to win. I think you want to build your team ultimately – to win a Super Bowl, but the path is through winning your division.
So would you partially coach and philosophize and theorize? Again, you've got to do more than win, in this case, the NFC South, but would you sort of, again, structure your team in a way that specifically could take advantage of that in the hopes of obviously doing beyond that, because you do play 6 games against them?
Yes, absolutely. You know every year you're going to play 6 games against your division opponents, and you know what their weaknesses are, but they know what yours are, and you want to get those 3 wins twice a year.
And if you don't, then you get into the conversation that goes on at the end of every season. You've been through it. Every head coach has, and when the seasons are over, we are very much involved with the Cowboys. We're Cowboy country. We're an affiliate, and we watch the carousel going on as we lose Dan Quinn and whether McCarthy stays or not. Do you guys reach out and talk to each other like, hey man, everything going all right, or is it just it's coming? You know what everybody's going to deal with, and the storm will die down eventually, and you'll just move on or be praised again?
Well, it depends on the relationships that you have with the different coaches. And there's some that are you're much closer with and that you talk to on a regular basis. And yeah, definitely you reach out to those guys and you want to be supportive because it is a very, very tight community. I don't want to say fraternity. It's a community, and it's not only the coaches, it's the coaches' families. There's so much that goes on to it. And as a coach, you feel like you're when things aren't going well, you feel like you're not only letting down your players and your team, but you're letting down the people in the building. And you've got to, you feel like you have a chance to make sure that those families and these people are all going to be okay at the end of the season.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure. I mean, that you're carrying in the weight of fans, and again, in the case of the Falcons, a franchise that's so starved. I mean, the fact that you walk around as the winningest head coach in Atlanta Falcons history, I mean, that's a big deal. I mean, like, by the way, the red helmets, need them. Like, I don't know if you can talk to Mr. Blanc. I mean, but like, the black ones are okay, but we need the red ones all the time. Everybody loves them.
Is that right?
It's scientific fact at this point.
Is that right? Well,
we're placing it to the highest source we can.
Well, and I can pass that one. And hey, you might want to try to run that by Matt today.
Oh yeah, we might just bring that up to Matt. He might have as much sway as you.
The players, they really get superstitious about sometimes what they wear. In fact, I wish they would be a little bit more lenient with the way that you can wear those uniforms. Sometimes you pick them too far in advance, and it's like, oh boy, I wish we were in the ones that we played that good game in. Well, I'm not superstitious, but
I'm a little suspicious.
I'm going to wear, if I can, we need to wear these.
See, it's more about the uniform. It's about the gear and the helmet and the visor and the face mask. It all has to make sense positionally, and numbers like. Didn't love Julio in 11. Just what, like, Roddy was a great 84, but 11 I can't get on board. I love the 80 numbers. But on the subject of gear, shoulder pads are an important thing in your life.
Yes.
Yes, it is. I'm involved with a shoulder pad company called X-Tech, and it's been around 14 years here in football. And I had an opportunity to meet Bob Broderick, and he came to Atlanta through a mutual friend, and he showed up with his car, and he had shoulder pads in the trunk.
Try them on, Coach.
Yeah, that's right. Try them on. Here, let me put your hand down here. I want to hit it with the helmet. You want to do what? And I know you guys have probably seen it, and it just resonated with me about we do everything with helmet and technology and all that. We don't do it with the shoulder pads, and we need to do everything in our power, whether it's the head, the shoulders, the knees. We need to put our players in the best possible equipment, and X-Tech is. It's the number one pad in professional football. All the big-time colleges are wearing them. But to me, the thing that is I'm so excited about is X-Tech is now getting ready to come out with a youth pad.
In the retail market,
yeah. And to me, we're going to be able to get these young kids, because I can remember when I played, and it was a long time ago, youth football, they weren't sizing it. It was, hey, pick your pad, pick your pad, pick your helmet, here you go. And, your pants didn't go to your knees, they went to your ankles. We need to put and have an opportunity to put all these young kids in X-Tech pads, and it's gonna be out here in the next year or so. They're testing it right now, and to me, that's where our focus at X-Tech should be. It should be on the next generation of players and their safety.
You look, when you think shoulder pads, there were the 80s shoulder pads that were giant, that you could barely even see the helmet. They were so big, and they have gotten smaller and more mobile and more protective over the years. But there was something about the big shoulder pads that made you feel like a man. Now they're compact, usable, and last much longer than they used to.
Absolutely. And the technology with the design, the technology with the actual product, the plastics that they have and the foams that they have, it's going to make the game safer. And as a coach that's gone through this change of player safety, which is a great thing, I'm on board, and all coaches are. We've got to make the game safer, and we need to start it at a very, very young age.
That is former head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, NFL champion, Mike Smith, sitting with us right here on San Antonio Sports Star. I saw you a couple years ago standing on the sidelines of the Hula Bowl. Is that a great way to scratch the itch? I mean, to go out and run a couple weeks with some superstars in college?
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm 0 in the Hula Bowl, but I have a blast. It's a great opportunity. I've done it 5 times, and yes, for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I'm done scratching. I'm ready to go home, but I can't because the game's 2 days later.
I mean,
Fair enough.
that's
It's being honest.
That's a man who's enjoying retirement right there.
Yeah,
just enough.
Hey, if I could just go practice 3 times, not play the game, it would be perfect.
Oh, Coach, you sound like such a coach. I'd rather practice than go get the game. It is such a pleasure. Coach Mike Smith right here on San Antonio Sports Stars. Thanks for stopping by with us.
Coach, last one for you. xtechpads.com, xtechpads on Instagram, by the way. I always wanted to know this. I'm going to ask Matt Ryan, too. How often during your time will you ask for Masters tickets? That has to happen all the time if you're an Atlanta sports figure.
Absolutely, and I say if you can get them, let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a hard ask.
They must, because you must get asked more for that than anybody gets asked for anything.
The Augusta National, it's a special place, and if you get an opportunity to get on it, it's fun. Hey, it's fun to be there.
And if a couple come your way, a couple guys in San Antonio would love to spend some time with you.
Actually, last thing, Coach, on the subject of pads, Michael Bennett very, very infamously would wear punter's pads because he felt like he could not get held as much. And 2012 divisional round, you guys worked out for y'all. You know what I'm saying? And they came back next year. We don't talk about that. But you persevered through his shoulder pads, and now you're making them safer. It's not about cosmetics, not about strategy. It's about safety, Michael Bennett.
It is about safety, Michael Bennett. But I will tell you this. Those offensive guys, they sure do like to grab, and that's why X-Tech's design team has made it where you can't get it. If you do, the referee, the umpire, and the back judge can see the hold.
Okay, looking like a true defensive coach right there. Mike Smith sitting with us here on San Antonio Sports Star. Genuine pleasure. Thank you for stopping by.
Yep, appreciate it, guys. You guys enjoy your time here in Vegas.
Oh, we will.
Best Bail Bonds, big game coverage live from Las Vegas. Powered by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, Synergenics, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.